welcome to a BTS or behind the scenes of a thrift store manager. For those who don't know me, my name is Katharine and I am a thrift store. Essentially, this is my church's thrift store. It's why it's called Thrift Store, and most of them are $1, but some more specialty items like furniture or pop dresses or wedding dresses can be a little bit more expensive than this $1, maybe they're $5 but primarily we like to price a lot of our things at $1. But today I'm going to just be showing you what a typical day in my life as a thrift store manager is like. So as you can see behind me, it's quite a mess right now. This is our sorting room, so this is a separate room apart from the regular floor where we stage all of the items that we have on sale, and this is where we sort through all of the clothes and all of the donations that we get, hence why it's called the sorting room. And it can be quite overwhelming, especially in the morning, because when we're not here, people can drop off donations into this big white bin that you can see here. In the morning when I come in, we're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. almost every single day except for Sundays. And when I come in the morning, I like to bring this big white bin, if it's full, into the sorting room. That way I can empty it and then make sure I put an empty white bin out for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna do that now, and I'm gonna put on music too to have out on the floor. I like to put music on because I feel like it makes it more welcoming into the store. I usually like to put on some YouTube music or some Spotify music, so let me go and do that now. I usually put on Christian music, and I just type in like Christian music playlist either on YouTube or on Spotify, so let me do that now. So after I get here in the morning, turn on all the lights, push in that white donations bin from outside into the sorting room, and then turn on some music, I usually have to count the cash drawer and open the drawer for the day, or the cash register for the day. All of the proceeds, I should say, that come from this thrift store goes directly to our church's ministry in Haiti. So we have a school and an orphanage there, so I love that we do that. But yeah, let me go ahead and count this cash drawer so that we can start out the day right, and that way we can sell some items to go to Haiti. After I count this cash drawer, then we can go through that white bin that I pulled in and try to empty it as much as we can. And when I do go into the sorting room, I like to close the door behind me because a lot of customers think that's like another room for things that we're selling. So I just close the door. I have a sign on there that says like staff only, and then I like to put this sign and this bell on the front desk area. That way, like if I'm in that sorting room and there's like no one else to help me with the cash register, that way they can just ding this bell and then I can come out and help check them out. So let me put that on the desk now so that when I'm done counting the cash drawer, I can go right in there and go through that big white donations bin. So now that I'm done counting the cash drawer, I'm now in the sorting room, and I'm gonna try to get through this white bin so that we can actually walk in here. It's not my goal today to get this room completely empty. It's just so that we can at least like have some sort of walking space so that we can get to the donations in the way back. I was able to clear out that white bin and put it back outside so that people can put their donations in there. We are purely a donations-based thrift store. A lot of people call here thinking that we're some sort of a consignment store and that we pay for people to drop stuff off for us to sell, but that's just not how we are or how we run, just because we are a church thrift store. So all of our proceeds, like I was mentioning before, go to our ministry in Haiti and support our school and orphanage down there. So it just doesn't really make sense for us to buy things that then we were to sell, because that means that there's less of a profit margin. So we purely take donations, and if you ever want to donate here, if you're in the area, you don't need an appointment. All you have to do is drop it off in the white bin outside, like I just mentioned, and there's not really hours that you can drop them off. We just prefer if you do drop them off during store hours, which are from 8 to 4 Monday through Saturday, closed on Sunday. I mean, if you really have to, you can drop them off after hours or on Sunday, but we just prefer if you do that like when we're actually open. But yeah, I know there's still a lot back here, but I do have some volunteers coming in today. Our thrift store also is like primarily volunteer run. I'm like the only manager on staff here, and I basically just oversee all of the volunteers here, make sure that they come in when they say that they're going to come in, or just check in on them to see when they can come in. But yeah, there's not really like a volunteer here or volunteers here all of the time. Sometimes like I'm all by myself here and I'm the only one who's actually running the thrift store during certain hours. So I'm usually here Tuesday through Saturday and off on Sunday and Monday. So I usually have volunteers here on Monday so that I can have the day off. Like I mentioned before, like when I am here Tuesday through Saturday, like I always don't have volunteers here with me, so sometimes I'm the only one here running the thrift store. But thankfully I have some volunteers coming in later on today, so they can help me get through some of these donations. Another thing that I like to do while I'm here is to read, just to give myself a little bit of a break and not get so overwhelmed with the sorting room back there and going through all the donations. I usually come out to the front desk, or I even sit back in the sorting room sometimes and I just read. I'm currently reading The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but I'm really liking it so far. I'm on page 129, which I believe is about 25% of the way through the book, and it's essentially about this girl who is a book thief. She ends up being in a foster type situation in Germany during World War II, so it's kind of interesting to see her go through her childhood and see all of the historical events going on during the time with like Hitler and the Holocaust and everything. And I'm not that far into it, so I don't know like too much about the plot, but essentially she ends up stealing her first book from her younger brother's funeral, from the grave digger there, and then she ends up stealing another book from when the Germans burned all of the Jewish books. Like there was one book that like hadn't burned in the fire because it was wet, so she just ended up like taking it and like running off with it. So I think the book is just like about her and her journey through like this period in time in Germany, and then like falling in love with reading. But I'm really excited to finish this book. You're not going to see me finish this book obviously in this video, but it will be in my reading wrap up at the end of this month.
One question, what's the price for the shoes?
Shoes? Kid shoes are $1 and then adult shoes are $2, but it's half off today, so the adult shoes would be $1, yes.
Okay. Vamos a coger aquel que está ahí también.
Eso está todo. What is that price?
They're $3 each, but it would be $1.50 after tax.
Ajá. Yo vi lo que siento. Pero están como chulo, ¿verdad? Ah, sí, eso sí, claro. Oh,
No, por un peso. Te atreves a decir que
mira.
ese
No
fregazo
está
que-
chulo eso.
por unos
Para el
50.
arbolito.
Te pones un peso por el tenis. Sí.
¿Verdad?
Is that everything today? Okay, it's gonna be $6.
Lo estoy viendo.
Thank you.
Oh.
Do you want your receipt?
No, this way. You accept debit card?
We do, yes. Anything over $5.
Okay. What's the price for the movie?
They're $1 each, but with the sale going on, they're 50 cents each.
Si fuera así, yo cojo esto, mira, frozen. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Believe me, it's not. I hope this is not the last time coming.
Oh, yay, awesome. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. I also wanted to mention to you guys that I did not seek out this job. My pastor heard through the grapevine that I was looking for a job and he needed someone to manage this thrift store, so he kind of just offered it to me. It's not my dream job by any means. I definitely know this is just temporary for me, and it's just something for my resume to have a managerial position. My background is more in events. I studied event management in college. I have my bachelor's degree, and I eventually want to get back into events, but ever since COVID, it's been kind of hard jumping back into events. For one, events weren't really a thing for a couple of years after COVID. If anything, they were like super small. And now that like it's 2024 and it's like 4 years after COVID, like events are like back in full swing now, but it's hard not having had event experience for those 4 years because of COVID. So like when I apply for event positions, they're like, why haven't you worked in events for that long? And I do have event experience. I worked at Disney in their events department, but it's just hard because I got laid off from working at Disney, and then I didn't participate in the event industry for, you know, 4 years. So it's kind of hard to get back into events after being out for so long. If you have any tips for like not just events, but like getting back into a career field or starting out in a career field without having like, I do have experience, but obviously I've been out for 4 years. So if you have any experience like jumping back into a field or like getting into something after not having much experience, like please let me know, because I really want to be able to get back into that because it is my passion. Or who knows, like maybe this is my new career with YouTube if it is successful. So I'm not like banking on that. This is just a fun hobby for me to do. So I'm gonna continue making it a fun hobby for me until maybe hopefully one day it turns successful, but who knows. I'm gonna get to sorting some of these clothes and hanging them up and things just so that when volunteers do come, they have a little bit of room to get back here. And sometimes being a thrift store manager when there's no volunteers around means taking out the trash. So let's go do that. It's honestly such a beautiful day out. I wish I wasn't stuck inside all day. Maybe after work I'll try to go on a walk or something. When you're at work, snacks are a necessity. One of the hard things about working at a thrift store and managing one is seeing all the cute clothes, because I want to take them all home. Or sometimes they're not in my size, but I wish they were. That's like the dangerous part of working at a thrift store. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a curtain right here, a yellow curtain. And then I also have a curtain on the door because there's like 2 large windows, one here and one on the door. This used to be my church's old church building, but then they converted this into the thrift store, and then now the church is down the street in a bigger building. They built like a brand new building a few years back, but essentially this sorting room used to be the kids room, I believe, or maybe the media room. That's why they had to have that huge window right there. But when customers used to come in, they would be able to see through this big window right here and also the window on the door, and they would want to, you know, take a look inside and be like, is this for sale? Is this for sale? Or is this for sale? And like, yes, eventually, but like some things that we get here at the thrift store are like, honestly, like not the best. I don't want to say that they're trash or garbage, but sometimes they are. Like, we've gotten people donating like literally bags of emptied McDonald's, like eaten McDonald's bags. We've also got like used underwear and like mattresses before, and I just don't feel safe and comfortable selling those just because of like bed bugs and hygiene issues, and like, yeah, you probably understand. But when we didn't have those curtains on the door and on this big window behind me, they would want to come in and like look. And I don't mind them being like eager to see things, but granted, there are some people who come in here who are resellers who like sell things on like eBay and stuff, and those are usually the ones that wanted to come in here. And I wanted to make sure that we got the stuff that was like considered trash or garbage out of here. Or even if like we got things that had like rips or stains on them, we obviously didn't want to sell those. But even things that are like ripped and stained, we don't want to sell those. We have these like pink trash bags where we recycle them. Like, a company comes to pick them up every Friday, and they are basically shredded down into like fine material to be like mattress stuffing or pillow stuffing, or like, I honestly don't know what else they do with it, but they basically shred down the material to like make it so that it can like be filler material, so it's recycled. And then we also get a lot of donations that are still in good condition, but like wouldn't necessarily be a good fit to sell here. Like, we only have so much space here at this thrift store because it's such a small space. We can only keep so much, and we can only rotate through the material that we have out there at such a certain speed. Like, our turnover rate isn't like the highest. Like, we do sell a lot of stuff, but it's like not like it's a Goodwill or a Salvation Army. So if it's still in good condition, we will redonate things to like Goodwill and Savers and Salvation Army and places like that. So we try to put out as much as we can, but honestly that's not always the case. But yeah, we had to put up those curtains just because like we want the sorting room to be the sorting room, and we want to be able to sort through the donations before the items get put out on the floor. So that's why we covered up the windows, because not that we want to be antisocial, but like we also want to do our jobs correctly here at the thrift store. So that's the whole reasoning behind that. But I'm gonna hang up some more clothes. I surely enjoyed making it. I shut down all the lights, I ended the cash drawer, and now I'm about to head out. I know this is not the most glamorous job, but I'm enjoying it so far. I know it's just a temporary position for me. I'm definitely developing my managerial skills and customer service skills, so that's always a plus. But I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!